Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Welcome everybody back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle channel. It's another interview special, and we have one of the hottest, still think, free agents. He hasn't told us anything to say that he's not yet. Heath, welcome to the show.
What is up, my man? Thanks for having me. Hey, and I want you to know, man, you are very professional.
Thank
You stayed on top of your things. You sent me these emails. Like you had your ducks in a row, man. And we all, like wrestlers, appreciate that also. I just wanted to give you your props.
Thank you for that. I try to do things, on this channel. We try to do things respectfully. We don't like things that we don't do is like clickbait and all the stuff like we
Course,
don't. We're
man.
not that way because we want people to watch it because of the stories that are going to be told, not from that, the shoot aspect. There is shoot interviews out there, but that's not
Oh
what
yeah,
we're about. So
gotcha.
I'm thankful for that, though. We do try and do things professionally and some of that stuff, but yes, it's very appreciated. So thank you for that. Well, okay, you've just come back from the UK. How was your experience?
Oh man, it's always awesome over there, man. Like I've always had a fun time, but like in the beginning of my career, I did not enjoy it
Yeah.
because the UK crowd did not like me at all, like at all. They would chant "Kill the Ginger" when I was hey, which I appreciate now, but when I was 26 years old, walking out at NXT and they're chanting "Kill the Ginger," and I'm just like, I'm the good guy here. Why are you saying that? It was great. And then whatever Ginger Ninja is, I don't even know what that means. But the whole place in O2 Arena is chanting it, and I'm just like turning around. I'm like, what does that even mean? And they're just saying Ginger Ninja, and I'm just like, ah. So I don't know, but after dwelling with a bunch of losses and gaining a little bit of respect, and then forming a band called 3 on B,
Mhm.
man, we were like the Rolling Stones when we hit O2 Arena, man. I remember us getting some of the loudest pops, and it was just like, holy crap, what? 3 on B chants raining through there, and the next thing you know, we get off the high that we're riding. We get back to the rooms. We're having some beers, enjoying the moment, catching a plane ride back to the States, going to Madison Square Garden, and getting booed out the damn building. And I'm just like, come on, man. Why can't y'all be like London?
We are. See, they do that a lot. We have that a lot in London. We seem to, I don't know, the underdog kind of thing, or I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, we do have those fashion. I mean, Fandango was another one. Dango.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We got him over. You sort of hit at 3MB. So let's just start with that. I was going to start with something else, but you called.
Perfect.
Let's do it 3MB.
Let's do it.
Look, it was one of those things that, when it come about, it was you, Drew, and obviously Jinder. And we know, obviously Jinder's gone on world champion. Drew's had the
Oh,
run. I
yeah.
know you come back near off the pandemic side with Drew for a little bit. When that was
Mhm.
put together, did you guys, I don't know, was it more like an eye roll thing, or was it just like, okay, because, or because you really look like you was enjoying it when you was in there, but at first, was it just like, oh God, here we go again?
At first, brother, like it was one of those things to where it just didn't make sense to me.
Hmm.
Like me as the guy trying to create the band, it
Yeah.
just didn't make sense to me because I gave them my pitch. I told them who I wanted, and they said no to all three of them. To where I was like, "Damn it!" But then when Michael Hayes finally came up to me and he was like, "Hey man, you're getting your band tonight," and I'm just like, "Oh hell, who's in it?" And he's like, "Jinder and Drew." He was like, "Do you want to tell them or me?" And I'm just like, "Ah shit." So Gender was more like the free spirit to one's
Hmm.
like, man, let's do it. Let's make the best of it. Drew, on the other hand, did not enjoy it at all. It was one of those things where he just was like, what the hell? I'm trying to be this Scottish badass, and now I'm going to be in a rock band, that type thing. But
Yeah.
then once we all talked and we all like ironed things out and everything, like I remember Drew looking at me saying, "Hey man, there was only two things I've ever wanted to be in my life. That was a wrestler and a rock star." He was like, I guess I'm gonna be both. Like that, you know. So we all were on board. Did we think we were gonna be like a comic act, you know, and all that?
Yeah.
No. We thought we were gonna be like Motley Crue, Metallica, you know, like come on, some Guns N'
Yeah.
Roses, you know. We thought we were gonna be like that. So that didn't work out either. But I feel like the funny thing about it is that like me, Jinder, and Drew, we're buddies outside the business, you know. So it was one of those things that we're traveling with friends. We all got each other's back. You know, we're wrestling, doing what we love to do, acting like rock stars. So it was a fun 2 years, man. Like a joy, you know, to just spend time with my friends and travel the world together. But did we think people were still going to talk about it? You know, however many years later? No, we didn't, you know. But it was one of those things I feel like 3 on B was so creative and entertaining to where people just damn loved it, man. You know, like they just loved the group. And I mean, think about this now. Like, you know, Drew's kicking ass and taking names, which he is. He's a stud. Jinder, you know, I mean, look at him. He's like built like a Greek god, you know he can whoop someone's ass if he wanted to. And then there's little old me over here, you know. Here I am. I'm a scrappy son of a gun, you know. But it's just one of those things that we're not kids no more. Imagine all three of us get together and we're like grown men, like kicking ass and taking some names. Like I feel like it could be a cool little boom, you know, up there. I mean, hell, Drew might need some help coming up too because it's like he's on that fence of good bad guy,
Yeah.
which I love. I love how he's playing it too, and it's great.
I think
But
like
who knows?
yeah, I think with Drew at the minute, and we'd say we sidetracked to Drew quickly because obviously you
Yeah,
mentioned and he's Scottish and he's part of us over here in the UK. The interesting thing about his character is he gets booed, but he's making what I'd say like great points. Like you could sit there and go, "I've got to boo you, but you're right." Do you know what I mean?
right. So, but that's just it. He gets booed, but it's not 100% of that crowd.
No.
I mean, there's people that still believe in him and loves him too, you know. And he's not lying. He
No.
might say it in that Scottish, I'm pissed off way,
Yeah.
but he's not lying. His delivery might not be that right. You know, he might need to deliver it softer. You know, who knows? But it's one of those things like people just taking him the wrong way, I feel.
I think so, but I do. I hope that he obviously coming up to WrestleMania and that and whatnot. I'm hoping
Yeah.
that he gets. Obviously, he's got
Ah.
Hell in a Cell this week. Obviously,
Oh yeah.
Friday,
Is that
Saturday.
Perth?
This is be interesting though. You guys in the States, you're going to get a bit of our medicine. It starts at 5 a.m. over there in the UK. We get 10 o'clock in the morning. This is going to be like great for us. Normally it's like 1 a.m. over here.
I'm gonna have to watch the redo, man.
Should have stayed over here.
I should have. Damn it. Book me over there, UK, man. You just messed my jack on what's the pay-per-view? Elimination Chamber plans up.
Yeah, you could have watched it at 10 o'clock with us
it.
at our breakfast.
I was about to say that's perfect. That's perfect.
It is. It's nice. They're doing a lot more of those now. Those sort of international events, I suppose. And it's working.
Yeah, as they should, man. Like being honest. I mean, my goodness, the world is so big, like, and everyone loves wrestling now. Like, man, put it out there.
Yeah, exactly that. I've got to ask you because you went through on here, and I loved it on a Monday Night Raw. You went through weeks where you were going through legends.
Oh.
And I just remember I was sitting there, what's he talking? You dropped hints as who they were going to be if you knew.
Of course.
Yeah. And I mean, for you, was that like a real good nostalgia thing?
Brother, for me, just being a fan since I was, 5 years old, it was like a child legit. You're watching a grown. I wasn't a man yet. I was a boy man. I was like 27, man, 26. Like I was still just like, what is happening here? But it's like you're watching a kid's dream come true. Because I remember WCW was my thing growing up. Like WWF was always like way far away in the other cities to where we couldn't really see it. But then they would come a little close enough to where still it was like a 4-hour drive for us. And everyone's like, oh, goodness, we have to get a hotel tonight. It's going to cost money, that type thing. But so I grew up literally on the guardrail, touching Sid Vicious when he walked by, touching Vader when he walked by, like stuff like that. I remember watching the Legion of Doom come out and me looking at Animal being like, holy crap, like what a rush here, So it's just one of those things to where being a fan and a little child watching all of this growing up and then being in the ring, hearing their theme music coming out and you're the guy they're facing, like, oh, it was literally one of the highlights of my career for sure. I mean, as a personal highlight, you know what I mean? And I wasn't even supposed to do it all. They told me I walked in TR because you always got to check in at TR, and they always have like just a rough draft, and that rough draft gets changed like all throughout the day. So you can look at it one time, you're like, oh, okay, I'm wrestling John Cena for the title, and then you can come back and you're like, damn, I'm on main event with Myers. Like, what the hell? So it's like, what the hell just happened? Who changed whose mind here? So I mean, it changes all the time. But I walked in there and I just saw Heath Slater versus Vader, and I'm like, man, is this like Hornswoggle dressed up as him gonna whip my ass or something? Like, what's happening? But dude, like literally, I looked at Mark Carano and he was like, "Nah, dude, it's Vader," and I'm like Big Van Vader? And he's like, "Yes." Who? What a Vader do you know? And then it was like he was like telling me that leading up to Raw 1000, they're bringing in legends each week, highlighting the legends and everything. And I said, do I have that spot each week? And he was like, no, man, I don't know. Like, I don't write the card, like this and that. So Mike Rotundo was my agent. So I looked and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Rotundo. I go to Rotundo and he's like, nah, man. He was like, the whole plan was what they said was each week a legend's coming in, but each week someone else is going to fight them. I said, hell no, man. I said, let me do it. I said, I want to do this. Like, let me be like Randy. I told him, Mike, I said, Randy's the legend killer. I said, let me be the legend builder. Like let me let me just get in there with them, man. This would be fantastic. And Mike was like, I don't have the pencil, you know who you have to talk to. And like I went in there and knocked on his door and said literally, like I was like, hey man, like I don't know what your plans are with this, but I know what I have an idea. As soon as I saw it, I said, all right, let me, I just told him, I said, let me be the guy out there. Let me have a 1-minute promo. That's all I need. Let me get my heat. And they said, have the legend come down. I'll make him look good as gold. I said, and then next thing you know, like, next week, same. And he looked at me and was like, you would want to do that? And I said, damn right I would. Like, heck yeah. And he was like, all right, then that's your spot. I said, heck yeah. And then next thing you know, it was Vader, Sid, Roddy Piper, Sidney Lauper, Wendy Richter, and then Animal, Rikishi, DDP, Doink, like Bob Backlund. Like, it just kept going, man. Like, it was amazing.
It was such a good watch because it took me back because obviously I'm pretty much around the same age as you, I think.
Well, I'm 40.
Yeah, I'm 40 in June. So yeah, there you
go. There we go, man. I'm July.
I'm June. So
yeah,
not far away.
Yeah.
I remember my first ever wrestling event I went to see was SummerSlam '92 at Wembley. So
beautiful, great SummerSlam.
Legion of Doom, bring it back. Legion of Doom were there coming on the Harleys. So I remember walking people like that. So that was great for me. And I love Dallas Page. He's been on the show before. We had Dallas Page on, and he's he was a great talker as well, like yourself. I just wish, the only wish I had in WWE Dallas Page that they had his old music.
I agree. I wish they would have brought Dallas Page back as Dallas Page in WCW.
Yeah, that was the one.
Dallas Page in WCW, if he would have just came in banging people left and right and leaving through the crowd at first,
that's it.
He'd been a Stone Cold over again.
Of course he would have been. And it would have been.
He didn't have to be no stalker guy. Like, come on, man. No. Have him come in with the damn tight blue jeans and shit. Brother. It would have that people love it. I loved it. I was doing that in the crowd. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I loved DDP. He was such a great guy to have on as well. I want to go back to where I was going to start. So that's because You started.
My bad, brother.
No. It's fine. I don't mind tangents because I go off on tangents quite a bit. If I hear something that triggers something, I'll go to it.
Yeah.
See Deep South FCW, and then we get this thing, and all of a sudden NXT comes along, and you get called up as part, and Christian is your mentor for it. Now, questions about that is, was there a process, or did they just pick wrestlers out? And did you actually get time with Christian, or was it just this is the format, go out and do it?
Well, the way it happened is that like Dr. Tom brought, like he got an email saying I need the top 8.
Yeah.
Like the top 8 developmental guys that you think can fit this mold, blah, 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 blah. We need them. And next thing you know, like I was one of the 8. And they told us that it was, they kind of described it to us as it was going to be wrestling. It was going to be tag matches, triple threat matches, ladder matches, single matches, every match you can think of. But there was going to be a point system. You remember old school Future Shock and WCW?
Yep.
Where there was 4 single, 4 tag teams, and if you won the match, you got 5 points. Yep. If it was a disqualification, you got 2 points, that type thing. Yep. So that's how they planned it out for us. And then we get up there, and it was nothing like that at all. It was like we were on a game show that we didn't know what was happening. Like it was just confusing. It was really irritating a little bit, because we literally felt like we were just guinea pigs filling time. And not knowing what was our future, man. Like it was just confusing for a lot of people, And but the pros, were actually really cool with us, Like Christian helped me out, and the cool thing with Christian came Edge, So I had Adam and Jay literally just in my ear. Jay or Christian would just mess with me a lot, because he likes to be an asshole. And then Edge would be like, man, he's halfway right, but no, and he would help me, But they both were cool with me, very cool with me. They made me feel welcome, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was really cool for it. But it was just one of those things that we were all confused and everything because what we got explained was happening did not happen, So it was just like, hey guys, we're in this together. Let's hope for the best,
And to be fair, because there's something over your shoulder that did come out of it that was, well, to be fair, I've said this on this channel quite a bit. I still think there's 2 things, and I'm going to do a bit of what do we call it here?
Fantasy baby, talk to me.
Fantasy booking is what we call it here. So we're going to do.
All right.
First thing I'll say is I think NEXUS was the biggest WWE fumble in years. That's my first point. And
right at the touchdown too.
Yeah, it was straight away. And then I'm going to
all we had to do was win SummerSlam. That would have been the touchdown.
We're going to get to
lead it to me. All right. Anyway, my bad. I'm going to talk with you. I want you to your guy in the ship. Go ahead.
That was the first point. So NEXUS was the biggest. My point is it could have been NWO if it was done right, and it was fumbled. And the second point was the fantasy booking angle that I was going to get to. That my personal belief, and maybe this is because they'd never done it, it could have been the biggest heel turn in wrestling history, apart from Hulk Hogan, if eventually it come round to how I would have done it, which would have been John Cena joining NEXUS, maybe at SummerSlam or maybe a bit longer down the line. That would have been my story. I don't know if it was ever talked about or anything like that, but that's my view.
You got to remember, though, what you're saying is fan-damn-tastic. For real. That could have been another Hogan moment for sure. I thought about that afterwards. But when we were there in 2010, 11-ish, it was Super Cena days.
It was.
It was all Super Cena. So when you're flying and you're saving the world and, all these bad guys are coming in and you're still saving the world, you just want to save the world, you don't want to join no one else. So we were facing Super Cena, and as you can see, they won.
They did. I want to get to that. So I went to, over here in the UK, there's something called Inside the Ropes, and Stu Wade come over and done it. And he told a story about SummerSlam. The story, basically, long story short, was when you got there, you were winning. A couple of hours what passed, you went through your motions, you were going with Edge and talking with Randy and going through the match or whatever. And then you got pulled into a room and got told you were losing. And then there was a discussion. I think you even may have gone to Vince about it, but he basically wanted to send the fans home happy. Maybe not. I don't know if there was any politicking involved, possibly. But that moment for you, because that moment at that point felt as if, even though you had some success after with Nexus, it just killed it for me. And I just think you needed that. Nexus needed that victory more than John Cena did, in my opinion.
You said it. I said that. Like that's exactly what happened. Whatever Stu said is exactly what happened. Because as soon as we arrived, we had that W, and Jericho and Edge literally put the whole match together.
Yeah.
Whole match, everything. Supposedly me, Gabriel, and Wade standing tall at the end, and all of Nexus comes back to the ring and is off on us. That's the last thing I heard.
Yeah.
Then it was literally like 6. No, hold on. It was before, like, doors were opening type deal, like show's about to damn start. And then we all got pulled into the room, said the finish was changed, and they were going over. And we're all just like, what the hell? What? Like, this is going to kill everything. Like we were building up all this momentum to take over, but our hands are like that, and then we missed. You know what I mean? Just like you said, we're at the touchdown to where we could be NWO. We could be, the guys that took over the WWE for a matter of up to Mania, up to the next biggest pay-per-view closer to it. If Mania was too far out, whatever. But build this super group, build the Avengers and come and take out Thanos's group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it right there to me, and I said it, like, I won't change my story. We were winning, then we lost, and the next thing you know, whenever those sails were flowing with all the wind and we're cruising at this damn nice speed and the sun's blowing through her hair and the wind, it just stopped and the clouds came in. And then who tried to join the group? Who did we try to force to join the group?
Yeah, Cena and that, wasn't it?
Exactly. And then it just didn't make sense, No. It was another story to try to make us strong again, but it killed us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh man, it just pisses me off.
The finish as well done it, because if I remember rightly, and I could be wrong, Cena took a DDT on the outside, and I think it was either
No.
or something. He took something on the outside, and it was
it was a DDT on exposed concrete.
Exposed concrete, right? And then 2 minutes later, the match is over. He'd won. It was literally as quick as that. I don't know if it was time constraints or whatever, but it was. And I was just like, really? Like, if you get DDT'd on the exposed, you would be out.
Who did Jake the Snake do that to? Was it Steamboat? Somebody
did, didn't it?
It was on the concrete, but he literally knocked them out. Yeah. You know what I mean? To where they couldn't finish the match, which, the shit is concrete. That's what would happen, but
it did. Yeah, it's a frustration for me because I did love the. I did think something could have been done.
But you had the
You just forgot the after that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot this beat. My bad.
I have to. The only thing I will say about John Cena is he does support the same soccer team as I do.
Hey, listen, Cena's a good guy.
Yeah.
He really is. He's a good-hearted guy. He's a good human being.
Yeah.
Back then, he was just worried about Cena.
Exactly.
You gotta remember that was 14 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of changes.
Everything changes. If I was on top, I'd be like, yeah, let me beat Nexus. let me take him down. Hey, who the hell knows? But was it good for business? It was not.
No, definitely.
Because think about it. I always go back to like the Avengers. They all got killed. They all got wiped out. Holy crap, Thanos won. He annihilated half the planet. Next thing you know, Mr. What's his name? Captain Marvel came back, Doctor Strange, all this other stuff. They time warped stuff, bing, 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 boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, they came back, and Thanos is like, holy crap, what's happening? It gives me goosebumps, that scene. This is an amazing scene. And they could have had that. WWE could have had the Big Show, the Cena, the Brett, the Taker, the whoever the hell else was, alive at the time that was ready to daggone put the gear on and go. Come and beat the hell out of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But it's like, hot damn.
Yeah. Again, I didn't like it. And then after the Nexus ended, it went to the CORRE. And I think, Stu said it. I can't remember can't remember the wording that he used over here, but it was some foul British language, to say the least. It just wasn't going to work, and it didn't, did it? It was just not the same at all. Music was good. So was Nexus's music, by the way. I enjoyed it.
I totally agree, but both of those music were great, But no, CORRE wasn't even the CORRE. It was me, Gabriel, and Wade, because Ryback was supposed to be in it, but he was hurt. So we needed a muscle, which Wade could have been the muscle, But they put Zeke with us, but Zeke had no affiliation with us, to where it just didn't really make sense,
Yeah.
And then they spelled it with 2 R's, and man, it was just something that could have been cool, but was not.
No, definitely was not. I only want another story, because I love this, and I would never forget it. You were on Raw, and you, of all people, to interrupt, it was the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar, and the line to this day, and he's, I don't give a shit about your kids, which was, and then
Right.
the F5, but sharing that moment with you, because he's been in some moments where R-Truth has pretty much broke him. The Truth is great like that. He's had moments with Keith Lee at the Royal Rumble where he come out and stuff like that. It wasn't your first rodeo with Brock. You'd done something on Raw previously a few years before that, but that moment was amazing.
Go ahead.
Go.
The whole I Got Kids stuff was a brain fart where I forgot my lines, and Brock wasn't even supposed to talk that night. Because he never talks. It's always Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
So pretty much, I get a run sheet that's that thick, and I'm just like, what the hell? So it's Paul, and then here I am, me, Paul, just going down, and I'm just like, holy crap! There's no way in hell I'm gonna remember all this shit, it's not gonna happen, and then they would mess with you, being like, oh, well, Vince don't want this to be said. He wants this to be said, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, guys, you can't do this to me. I'm next. I'm sorry, but I'm going to give you what I can remember. So Paul saying his line, I'm saying mine, back and forth, ping pong match. Next thing you know, I'm frozen. And I'm like, oh, man, what was the next line? And then, Paul was delivering his beautiful lines and stuff, and I'm literally like, and I had to just, hey, damn it, I got kids, I know everyone knows I'm gonna get my butt. I don't even remember exactly what I said. Just that I had to shoot from the hip because I'm on live television, man. I can't just sit there So I shot from the hip. It worked. Got in the ring. Brock grabbed the mic, talking and everything. And next thing you know, like the daughter. next thing you know, he grabbed the mic, said the lines. I just knew that I was supposed to jump him, and he beat me up.
Yeah.
So next thing you knew, he said the line, and then he tells me to walk away. I came back, and then you saw what happened.
Yeah, took a trip to F5 City from what I remember.
Man, I've been to F5 City so many damn times. I don't like it though, man. It's not a great city.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because to sort of say, learn how to fall and stuff like that, or break the fall. Difficult one to do when you're getting luzzed.
Well, it's just one of those things. It's like, you jump, you help the guy out, it's a dance.
Mm.
With him, you don't have to dance, man. He
No.
twirls you, he throws you, he picks you up. You don't even know you're going up and you're up, So it's just one of the strongest guys I've ever been, like explosive strong,
Yeah.
Just 1 second he's there and next thing you know, he's all over you. And you're just like, holy crap. He's just explosively strong, man.
Yeah, he is very strong. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of one of those. That's for sure.
Right.
You had a couple of years. Oh, God, sorry.
I'm just saying, it's one of those things where like he don't even try to be stiff, man. Like
No.
I just feel like he's just there and he's just solid.
Mm.
He's just solid, man. And anybody that's like that and they hit you, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just how it is. And we're all pro wrestlers, like we all know it hurts. It does. All these other people like, oh man, it's fake. No, it might be
No.
predetermined, but the shit hurts, man. It
Yeah.
hurts. But no, he's just a solid dude that's just explosively strong. That would just he's the beast.
He is. And yes, it does hurt. I tried it for a month and no.
Yeah.
Nope. No,
No.
sir. Sit me behind one of these. I happily go and watch. And when I watch, I'm very tunnel vision. So I don't very rarely do I cheer and boo. I did pop at the weekend because Orange Cassidy was a surprise at Rev Pro Wrestling on Sunday. So I had a big pop about that. And Tony Khan was there because Will Ospreay was talking a little bit just about before the last match. And but when I'm watching it, that's the ring. What's going on? More that than I am yay and boo. Very rarely I'll do it. Unless my son goes, then I'll probably get into it a bit more.
Of course.
But you do. You had a couple of years. You had the Social Outcasts. You had Slater Gator for a bit. And then you got drafted. I think you were drafted to SmackDown at that point. Shane.
Oh no, I never got drafted.
He never got drafted. That was it. Sorry, my bad.
Come on, man. You have got to remember that scene. Lights went off on me. I raised hell. I became a free agent. I was making double money on Raw and SmackDown.
Eventually, you end up teaming with Rhino in a team that I don't think anyone realized that we wanted, but we did. And it was such a great for us. And you won tag gold with him as well on SmackDown, the tag team.
Yeah, man. First ever SmackDown Live tag champs, man. Crazy story, man, because the whole free agent thing and the way that they explained it to me was that I didn't get drafted, but I was going to win the heart of Stephanie and Shane because they were Raw SmackDown and they were going to give me opportunities. So I'm like, dang, man, I'm going to be Raw and SmackDown, getting paid for both, doing this, doing that, getting double exposure. Like, hell yeah, let's go. But then they wanted to put me with Miz for the IC title. And then Rhino got moved up, and then he got in the storyline. They want to do something with him, and then they were switching brands. And next thing you know, I was supposed to go to get the IC title, but it got switched over here to get the tag title again. At first, I'm just like, no, damn it. I don't need another tag title. I already got 3 of them already under my belt. I want that title. Give me the IC title. Let me go up a ladder a little bit, And then they still wanted me to do this, with the tag titles, and I was mad and upset. But in the long run now, it's like it was a blessing because Rhino's like a brother to me, like a best friend, to where like I would rather have first ever SmackDown gold, or silver, as you would say, with him and have a best friend than have an IC title anyway,
Exactly. It would have been good actually because you would have kind of followed Drew won the IC title as well. So I know Jinder, I don't think he did. He's won the world title, didn't he? But he didn't win the IC.
Yeah.
I know. So it would have been nice to follow it. Obviously the pandemic and stuff hit. You were released, but then you came back for a match on Raw with Drew, and you kind of had that moment there. Was that although I think you was under your 90-day no compete at that point. I'm still thinking.
Yeah.
Was that just a nice touching moment? Because you had given a long time to WWE, so you did deserve that kind of nice ending to a degree with Drew. Although you lost the match, I know Ziggler come in and then McIntyre saved it and whatever, but it was still at least it felt like you got a nice goodbye rather than just future endeavored on the WWE website.
Man, it was one of those things where like 2 writers called me. I told them no. I was like, man, you fired me. I don't have to do this if I don't want to. Cut my pay off. I don't care. Whatever. I don't want to do it. And then Drew calls me, and then he like tells me all the pros and cons behind it, and then the pros outweigh the cons. And Drew's a brother to me, man. Like every time they come to, I mean, they were in Charlotte just 2 weeks ago, and we all went out to dinner and everything. So like, I mean, he's legit a brother to me. Like I knew him when he first came over here, and we couldn't understand a damn word he was saying. You know, I mean, he sounded like Popeye, man. Like he couldn't understand anything. But it's just one of those things where, like, he's a good human being, and I love him. He's my brother. But he talked me into it, so I said, "Damn it." So they wanted me to do the thing that you guys got to see,
Yeah.
and then they wanted me to wrestle Dolph on, I guess, SmackDown the following night or Raw the next episode, whatever, because they taped him because it was all COVID's crap.
Yeah.
And then they wanted me to interrupt the match when they did some Halloween match, like a horror gimmick match that Dolph and Drew was having. I don't even remember the pay per view. And I told him, I said, "Nah, man." I was like, "If I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna do Raw with Drew, and I'm out."
Yeah.
And they just was like, "Whoa, whoa." I was like, "That's all I'm gonna do." So they gave me a script, and I kind of looked it over, and I was like, "Yeah, some makes sense, but I'm gonna put my own words in here." And then the writer's like, "Well, what are you thinking?" I'm like, "Well, this is what I'm wanting to say." And I told them that, and they're like, "Well, no, that's good. Yeah, that's it. Use that, And then they just started talking and everything. And then I just already had what I wanted to say in my head anyway. So I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm good." So I was just like, "Yeah, that script could say that, but I already know what I wanted to say, and I'm gonna say it." So good thing about it is that when we went out there and did it, it was just one take, and it was done. There was no cut. And like stop, move back in this position, which did happen a lot. So I was like, this was one take. It was emotional. The little bit of workers and crowd that was there, like, smacking the glass, having some fun. But it was one of those things where, like, I think I needed, just to say, thank you all. I'm out. At least me and Drew held our hands up high and said, 3-on-B, baby, I love you.
Yeah, exactly. Just a shame that the crowd wasn't there to see it. I think it would have been.
Honestly, that would have been great. It would have been, but COVID was such a wild, crazy, couple years to where you're just like, what the hell is happening? None of us wanted to wrestle in front of no people because it sucks. It sucks beating yourself up and no one's doing, yeah. It's so different, man. It's so different. But
Those are the times that you miss the Ginger Ninja chance, right?
oh, brother, I would have had that any day. You know what I mean? Any day. But it was one of those things where it just was just not right. It just didn't feel right. Just the people bring so much energy that we feed off of, and if without the crowd, man, it's just not the same at all.
No, definitely not. But it wasn't long, and then you ended up in at that time it was Impact Wrestling. Now it's rebranded back to TNA, which is great. And we've had Santino on, and we had Matt Rayweld on, used to be one of the World Villains with Simon Gotch. And we were saying one of the things that was very impressive, what we enjoyed about Impact or TNA was the roster had a very NXT feel to it. Like they wanted it. You guys, it felt like they wanted to succeed. They wanted to turn that tide. Scott D'Amore, I know, is no longer there, but you kind of really had the passion. He wanted this to turn what was something that wasn't quite going well to where it is pretty much today, which is now back where it should be. Very, very good. What was your experiences like at TNA? TNA.
Yeah, the crowd or the people at TNA, like the staff, people in the back, the locker room, the guys there, like that. It's one of the best locker rooms I've been in. I mean, it's just they all care about each other. They all they hang out with each other. It's like a mini family.
Yeah.
My experience there was awesome. I had a blast. I had fun working with everyone there. I still talk to them today. I mean, it's like I was gone for so long. But no, it's just the locker room there is amazing. Everyone there busts their ass and they try very hard. So I mean, I respect them. Like, I respect Impact. I respect TNA. So, but like, I have nothing bad to say about them, man. I had a very fun time while I was there.
Yeah, we had the Decay on. They come a week because TNA. We've had some of their roster given to us
Yeah.
a bit like this, which we're very appreciative of as well. My colleague Dave interviewed them, and they were saying that Rosemary has been there for about 8 years, and it was like it felt like this whole circle. When she started, it was good, and it had the dip, and now it's come full circle and it's back, and I love it. Ziggler Nemeth's now there as well, which is
yeah.
Ali's there, and fun enough, I saw Ali on Sunday. He was at Revolution Pro as well on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
really
you got to remember, Impact doesn't do a lot of signed contracts either.
no.
A lot of these guys might just be on appearance fees. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like, yeah, they might be coming in a little bit, but it doesn't mean that they're like 100% there. I mean, they might pop up over here somewhere and be there consistently. Who knows? But the good thing about Impact is that I feel like they can make dream matches. They have enough of a crowd to watch, but they have a lot of talent that's on the indies that they can bring in to have some amazing matches. So that's what I feel like what keeps Impact being like exciting and everything, because they have the ability to do that.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they brought Ospreay in, did they? Had Okada recently. I think he's probably going to AEW now. Well,
I think he is too.
Yeah, I think Ospreay's probably he's making his kind of official full-time debut. Well, he's got the Match of Revolution against Takeshita. Maybe he'll be on before then, who knows? But more importantly, your future. What are you going to Well, we don't want to know what's going on, but what is Heath going to be up to? You just come back from the UK. What's next for you?
Hey, honestly, man, like think about this. I got signed to a WWE contract when I was 22 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. 22. A baby. I'm barely able to buy a beer, man. So I have been with the biggest company for 14 years of my life. And I grew up poor with not much. So I saved a lot of damn money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I invested well, thanks to AA Arn Anderson and Dr. Tom Pritchard, telling me I better start doing that shit. And my wife is amazing, and she absolutely is in my corner with all of that and was helping me out. But after that, I got signed to Impact, and I was making decent money there. So it was just like one of those things. Like right now, at the moment, I told Steph, I said, for the next year, like I don't want to sign nowhere. I said, I just want to work the indies, go around having matches that I want to have, just having fun, man. Like having fun. Like I get to go to the gym. I get to be home with my kids on the weekdays, and just being dad, which I only saw them for 2 days a week for like 8 years of their lives, So it's just like I was just a fun guy that came home 2 days a week all right, let's go to Dave and Buster's, let's go to Carowinds, let's ride roller coasters, yeah. And then all right, I'll see y'all in a week, I was that guy for like 8 years of their life, man, to where it's just I'm enjoying life right now. I'm enjoying being a dad. But I still scratch my itch and go and wrestle on the weekends and make money, but I'm having fun, man. Like that's where I'm at. Like I'm having fun. Hey, if Hunter wants to call me up and say, hey brother, I got a year contract for you if you want to do this, I'd be like, yeah, man, why not? If that would happen, great. I have had other offers somewhere, other places, but it doesn't make sense to me of where I'm at in life now. You know what I mean? So I'm literally at the moment having fun, enjoying being a dad, and scratching my itch on the weekends while I wrestle.
Brilliant.
That's where I'm at.
And exactly that. And someone that's given his life to entertaining us for 14 years, you deserve to entertain the most important people in your life, which is you've got living at home. So
that's beautiful,
thank you for that. Because seriously, I've obviously I've been a wrestling fan for too long. But I know that I think because I've been inside the ring, I know the toll that it takes. Even just that month that I was doing it, there wasn't a time where I didn't come out hurting, or the next day headaches, or So you also, if you know the business well enough, you know that you walk in wounded quite a lot. So from our perspective and from us and the guys that unfortunately couldn't be on the show today because we're actually busy, and we'll tell you a bit more about that in a minute. We just thank you for giving the majority of your life to entertain us on a weekly basis. That means a lot to us, but please make sure you entertain the family now for as long as you want to do that and carry on working the odd show. But I did say we were busy, so my colleague Andy right now is down at Apex Wrestling filming starting a documentary. Yes, we're doing a documentary.
Ooh,
yes,
nice.
a day in the life. Yeah, but we do a lot of this with some of the we're big UK independents, so we try and go around and doing that. You hear a bit more now. So we're also on the road to our own show, well, our own sponsored show. So we're working with Ignite, who is on my top right here, Ignite Wrestling Pro. Buckle Up 2, we done Buckle Up 1 last year. We sold out the venue, brought in some of the best of the UK. We introduced the Hitting the Turnbuckle Men's Championship last year, and that's still going this year with Ignite. There is still, and our champion is still Smashing Mike. He will be defending. What a name, right? He will be defending the title this coming April, though, against James Ellis, and then we go to Buckle Up, which he doesn't know who he's facing yet, and neither do I, for that matter. But he'll be. He'd actually just beat his last show. He just beat Eddie Dennis, who's WWE NXT UK wrestler. So he just beat him.
Yeah.
And a big thanks to Eddie Dennis for that as well, because a lot of people learned a lot from Eddie on that weekend. So big thanks to Eddie for coming out for that. Just a couple more interviews now, and I'll let you get on your way. We've got interviews coming up with Ken Shamrock in a couple of weeks, and somebody that you may know very well, Mr. Devon Dudley, will be coming.
Oh, nice.
Chat.
Nice.
Yeah, we're getting the big ones. We're getting the big ones like your good self. We had Matt Cardona on, fun enough, last year. That was a great.
Oh goodness.
Was
it great? Was it great?
Oh, he was great. Matt was brilliant. Yeah,
I love Matt.
And a big thanks to Eric Bischoff. He come on twice last year. He's coming on again this year as well at some stage. We're trying to do it for WrestleMania. If not, it'll be just after. But Bischoff will be back as well.
That's sweet.
That is sweet. Heath, thank you so much for your time. This hour has literally flown by near enough.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't even know we were done.
We are literally done. It's an hour, literally near enough an hour, beyond a couple of minutes here and there. But thank you so much for joining us. We've loved this conversation with you. Whatever you do in the future, good luck. If you come back over here in the UK, we'll try and get over there to see you.
Heck yeah.
You're always welcome back on here at any time. If you want to come on, we'll be more than happy to host you. But guys, that has been the one-man band now.
Baby.
Mr. Heath Slayer. I've been your host, Adam Cousins. We'll be back with all the review shows as normal. But until then, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and good evening.